lifting me, keeps right on lifting me higher, higher and higher. Your love keeps lifting me, keeps right on lifting me higher, higher and higher. Your love lifted me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up, feel my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. Your love keeps lifting me, keeps right on lifting me higher, higher and higher. Your love keeps lifting me, keeps right on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I'm so glad I found you. I'm so proud that I am your girl. You keep on holding my hand. I'll be proud to say that to the world. Your love keeps lifting me, keeps right on lifting me higher, higher and higher. Your love keeps lifting me, keeps right on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I was hurt and downhearted. Disappointment was my closest friend. But then you came, hurt soon departed. It ain't never gonna show its face again. Oh no. Higher, higher, higher and higher. Higher, higher, higher and higher. Your love keeps lifting me, keeps right on lifting me higher, higher and higher. Your love keeps lifting me, keeps right on lifting me higher, higher and higher.
Hello?
Tell him I'm not here. Tell him I'm not here.
She isn't here right now.
She ain't all here.
Okay. Check with you later. We travel about 80,000 miles a year, I guess. Something like that.
1,000 miles a year?
80,000.
Oh, I thought you said, I thought we travel 1,000 miles a day.
Just about 500 or 600 every day. Dolly's had this bus about 4 years now. So I've been with her 2.5 years, so it's the only bus she's had since I've been with her.
Tell him about the new bus. Tell him about the new bus.
We do plan on buying a new bus shortly.
Here you come again, just when I'm about to get myself together. You waltz right in the door, just like you've done before, and wrap my heart round your little finger. Here you come again, just when I'm about to make it work without you. You look into my eyes and lie those pretty lies, and pretty soon I'm wondering how I came to doubt you. All you gotta do is smile that smile, and there go all my defenses. 'Cause leave it up to you, and in a little while you're messing up my mind and filling up my senses. Here you come again, looking better than a body has a right to, and shaking me up so that all I really know is here you come again. And here I
love people. I really do, because it excites me that I can go out on stage and be me and allow them to, be themselves and to show their reactions. It's like knowing that I've accomplished something. It's like knowing that I was right all along, that I could do what I believed I could do.
'Cause I had big plans for a bright, shining future. Could this be my future that's holding my hand? And it's all I can do to keep from falling in love with you. All I can do to keep from letting it show. Well, it's all I can do to keep from falling in love with you. All I can do to keep from telling you so. Well, it's all I can do to keep from falling in love with you. All I can do to keep from letting you show. Well, it's all I can do to keep from falling in love with you. All I can do to keep from letting you show. Well, it's all I can do, yes, it's all I can do. All I can do to keep from letting you show. Well, it's all I can do, yes, it's all I can do. All I can do to keep from telling you so.
We're on a different diet every day.
Don'll be a dietitian by the time we're done. By the time we get
We diet more than anybody I've ever seen to stay as fat as we are. The way we've been working on the road for the last 2 years, it really consumes most of my time, because we do press conferences during the day, and then we do the sound check, and then we have supper, and then we do the show. By the time the day's over, I'm pretty much ready to go to sleep. After you reach a certain point in the business, you can pretty much call your own shots. Now, I have worked extremely hard the last 2 years. I've always worked hard. I don't mind hard work. I think it's healthy for you. But it can be just as unhealthy if you work too much to where you don't have time to be close to the things you love the most. Get you on camera. Now, I eat more as the tour goes on. That's about all there is to do. Except sing and eat.
Those who have tickets for Dolly Parton, please line up to the left.
I like her a lot. Oh yeah, that's why I'm here.
Naturally, her looks and her body, but she can sing good too.
Beautiful.
I just like all her nice music that she plays and that. She's real wonderful. She's real wonderful.
Doesn't put on airs or anything like that.
Her voice is a real good voice.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. She's pretty good. She's pretty good. Yeah.
She's beautiful. I really like her a lot.
You better believe it.
Yeah?
I'm not a truck driver either.
Any meaning to the words, the story they tell.
The song
It's
she
like,
writes?
yeah, it's true life. Just the way it happens.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can. Your beauty is beyond compare, with flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Your smile is like a breath of spring, your voice is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene. He talks about you in his sleep, and there's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name, Jolene. Oh, but I can easily understand how you could easily take my man, but you don't know what he means to me, Jolene. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can. You could have your choice of men, but I could never love again, 'cause he's the only one for me, Jolene. But I had talk with you. My happiness depends on you and whatever you decide to do. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can. Jolene, you shameless woman.
I suppose the last 2 years we've worked about 200 days on the road, which is a lot more than we should work. I do quite a bit of riding on the road, but I do some at home anymore. As much as I'm working, if I'm going to ride at all, I almost have to do it on the road because I'm almost out here all the time. But I can ride pretty good on the road because when we travel from city to city, there's not that much to do. And you look for things to do. You sit here in this seat, you look out the window, and you see things that inspire you.
Love is like a butterfly, as soft and gentle as a sigh. The multicolored moods of love are like its satin rings. Love makes your heart feel strange inside. It flutters like soft wings in flight. Love is like a butterfly, a rare and gentle thing. Now I feel it when you're with me, and it happens when you kiss me. That rare and gentle feeling that I feel inside. Your touch is soft and gentle, and your kiss is warm and tender. Whenever I am with you, I think of butterfly.
First concerts I did with Dolly were still very much the country concerts, playing in a converted movie theater or playing in a high school gymnasium with no lights other than the overhead fluorescents turned on, and carrying our own sound system, things like that. And since that time, it's evolved more into not exactly a rock tour, but more along those lines.
We've been picked, like I think I heard that they auditioned somewhere around 30 guitar players before they took us. And that's more, I think it was at least as much on personality as it was on playing.
Yeah, she's very intuitive about that. I think that she comes to the audition and she listens, and Greg listens because he's the band leader and he knows what's going on. But she has a real a gut feeling, I guess, about the person, you know, whether they're going to fit in with the band.
That sounds a lot better. I think we'll get away with that.
To me, there's kind of a realistic thing that's in her that just really makes her want to entertain every night. It's like she goes out, and every night it's like it was the last time that she was going to be performing for a while. And I really enjoy that myself because I can feed off of that energy myself and put into it what I feel when she's, you know, giving so much energy off on stage.
She never did say so. Cause being took for granted was the thing that she accepted, and she didn't need those things to make her happy.
Her music is really different than anything else, you know, and I'm free to do a lot of steel in it, which I love. It's fun for me, you know. I have a ball on stage. Get to play just about anything you want. And
I think the biggest thing would be her inherent taste in what she does. She doesn't know music. She can't tell me that this eighth note here is wrong, or this chord has got this note in it that's wrong. She only knows that there's something that she wants different, or something that's not right. And she's real accurate.
she is a professional in every sense of the word. I've seen her in incredible situations, and she'll pull it off every time.
She's so easy to get along with, and it's just everything runs, really smooth. She never gets upset about anything.
With you gone, our world has just come to an end.
I went jazz, rock, and then country and western with Dolly, and now she seems to be crossing over into the rock. It feels more at home to me. And the actual country western stuff has got kind of a jazz flavor to it, the swing feel, and it feels real good.
Dolly has quite a reputation among musicians as a songwriter, someone whose music is something meaningful.
Mama never seemed to miss the final things in life. If she did, she never did say so to Daddy. She never wanted to be more than mother and a wife. If she did, she never did say so to Daddy. The only thing that seemed to be important in her life was to make our house a home and make us happy. Mama never wanted any more than what she had. If she did, she never did say so to Daddy. He often left her all alone. She didn't mind the staying home. If she did, she never did say so to Daddy. And she never missed the flowers and the cards he never sent her. If she did, she never did say so to Daddy. 'Cause being took for granted was a thing that she accepted, and she didn't need those things to make her happy. And she didn't seem to notice that he didn't kiss and hold her. If she did, she never did say so to Daddy. Till one morning we awoke just to find a note that Mama carefully wrote and left to Daddy. And as he began to read it, our ears could not believe it. The words that she had written there to Daddy. She said, my kids are old enough and they don't need me very much. And I've gone in search for love I need so badly. I have needed you so long, but I just can't keep holding on. She never meant to come back home. If she did, she never did say so to Daddy. Goodbye to Daddy.
There's 12 of us kids, 6 girls and 6 boys, and of course my mom and dad. So there was always like just dozens of kids and people that would, relatives that would come around our house because there was such a good feeling at our house. So it was just like a family reunion all the time, especially on weekends. And we had work to do. We made our living from the land. We lived on a farm, and we all worked in the fields. The girls, just like the boys. And my daddy was a farmer for a good many years, and then as they started having more kids, we needed more money than what we had, just because we mostly had a tobacco crop, and Daddy sold the tobacco about once a year around Christmas time. So all the money that we actually made was like $1,500, $2,000 a year.
Back through the years I go wandering once again, back to the seasons of my youth. And I recall a box of rags that someone gave us, and how my mama put the rags to use. Now, there were rags of many colors, but every piece was small, and I didn't have a coat, and it was way down in the fall. Mama sewed the rags together, so in every piece with love she made my coat of many colors that I was so proud of. While Mama sewed, she told a story from the Bible she had read about a coat of many colors Joseph wore, and then she said, I hope this coat will bring you good luck and happiness. And I just couldn't wait to wear it, and Mama blessed it with a kiss. My coat of many colors that my Mama made for me, made only from rags, but I wore it so proudly. And although we had no money, I was rich as I could be in my coat of many colors Mama made for me.
Coat of Many Colors is my very favorite song that I've ever written. And it's like a good many of the others, is a true story, but it's about Mama. And I think it says something, though, that the others don't say. It shows you that you don't have to have money to be rich, and that you can think yourself poor just by, feeling that way, but you can be rich in things like love and kindness and understanding, and we were lucky that we had a good mom and daddy, so we had a lot of things to be thankful for. So that song, in its way, is special to me because it's like kind of like a testimony, for poor people, and certainly us, because we were poor.
And oh, I couldn't understand that, 'cause I felt I was rich. And then I told him of the love that Mama sewed in every stitch. And then I told him all the story Mama told me while she sewed, and why my coat of many colors was worth more than all their clothes. They didn't understand it, and I tried to make them see one is only poor only if they choose to be. It is true we had no money, but I was rich as I could be in my coat of many colors Mama made for me, made just for me. I do thank you.
Mama was often sick a lot from having kids, and we didn't have doctors when we needed them, and in that part of the country, doctors were not that close. We did have one doctor that he was a preacher as well as a doctor, and he was a few miles away. And some people like us lived so far back in the mountains that you couldn't drive to where we lived, and so the doctor used to ride a horse back to see us when it was an emergency, if somebody was just really on their deathbed, or sometimes Mom would have trouble having babies at home. 6 of us were born at home, and so he would sometimes come to deliver, the kids. And I was one that he delivered, and we used to pay him in like canned goods or a ham or meal or flour, just because he was a poor man as well. But he was a good doctor, and his name was Dr. Robert F. Thomas, and I wrote a song about him that is in one of my earlier albums. So I do write a lot of things about things that touch me. But it was a good life. I mean, we had freedom. We had time to create. We had time to think and appreciate.
This is a story that I wrote about an old man that I grew up knowing and loving in the Smokies. He's the best friend I had when I was a kid, and I used to sneak off and sit on the front porch with him up in the woods where he lived. We used to chew tobacco together, and we'd smoke roll-your-own cigarettes together. Not that kind, I mean real tobacco. And every now and then he used to let me sip a little bit of his moonshine. But I know he did it all for a reason, because, he broke me from smoking and drinking altogether. And I don't chew near as much as I used to. But he lived by the apple orchard in this little old orchard shack. His real name was Jackson Taylor, but I called him Applejack. The old Applejack was loved by everyone he ever knew. Of course, Applejack picked apples, but he picked the banjo too. Play a song for me, Applejack, Applejack, play a song for me, and I'll sing. Play a song for me, Applejack, Applejack, play a song that your banjo rings. I'd go down to Applejack's just almost every day. We'd sit and we'd drink Applejack, but old Applejack at me. And then he'd take his banjo down, and then he'd ask me if I'd sing. And he blues, 'cause old Applejack is gone. Oh, but he left me the banjo, and it always takes me back. You know, every time I play it, I still hear Applejack. Everybody clap your hands and sing along with me. Applejack, Applejack, play a song for me, and I'll sing. Play a song for me, Applejack, Applejack, play a song, let your banjo ring. Let's do it again. Play a song for me, Applejack, Applejack, play a song for me, and I'll sing. Play a song for me, Applejack, Applejack, play a song, let your banjo ring. I tore one of my fingernails out by the glue.
Dolly, you may be the only entertainer in America who has what it takes to turn New York City into a small town. Dolly, New York will be your town for as long as you and music share the same stage. And that is why, on behalf of all New Yorkers and Jay Golden, controller, and myself as the mayor, I'm delighted to present you with the key to our hearts and the key to the city of New York. Dolly's now going to take questions, and obviously we're going to have to take those that are close by.
Dolly?
Yes, who's talking to me?
I am.
Okay.
I'd like to know if you ever plan on making your home in New York City.
I would love to have an apartment here sometime because I really do like the excitement of the city. There's so much to do, so many places to go. So I might be your neighbor one day. I don't know. I may move in with the mayor. I don't know.
That's in my downtown apartment.
Dolly, there's been a lot of talk about your upper extremities. Is that all yours?
I don't think nobody else would want it, so I have to claim it. Lee, there's a lady over here that looks sort of like I used to. I guess it's a lady. Uh-oh, it's a lady.
I would like to know who you got to cut your hair.
Who I got to cut it?
Yes.
Well, I just bought it this length.
Oh, I see.
I thought I was going so fast I'd met myself coming back when I thought. Thank you. Does anybody out there want to go to a party? Well, can I go with you? We're having a party 2 doors down, and everybody's invited. 2 doors down, they're laughing and drinking and having a party. 2 doors down, we're not a winner around. Studio 54 in New York City is one of the most famous disco places in the world. The man that owns the studio, he wanted to throw me a big party. It was fun. It was a compliment. And I love all kinds of music, and I like disco music, and I like to dance. I have to admit that even as country as I am, and as simple a life as I have, I love that kind of excitement. I like crazy things. I was fascinated, I guess, mostly with the types of people. And this one guy stood by the speakers all night, in a bright light, where he could be seen by all. Danced alone all night, just really getting down with the dancing. And of course, boys would dance with boys and girls with girls, and that's not unusual for New York City. New York City is a crazy place, and I've come to love it because it is very exciting, and people treat me good.
Thank you so much. Boy, you're a rowdy bunch, and that's just the way I like it. Woo! Thank you. I tell you what, I want to do a song for you now, kind of slow things down just a little and catch our breath a slight bit, and do a song that I wrote a few months ago that I've never had a chance to record with my group, but I do hope to before long. But I want to do it tonight without any musical instruments, just with voices. I'm going to ask Greg and Richard and Paul to help me sing a little bit on this. It's called Do I Ever Cross Your Mind? You ready, boys? Okay. Oh, sometimes I go walking through fields where we walked long ago in the sweet used to be. And the flowers still grow, but they don't smell as sweet as they did when you picked them for me. And when I think of you and the love we once knew, how I wish we could go back in time. Do you ever think back on old memories like that, or do I ever cross your mind? Oh, how often I wish that again I could kiss your sweet lips like I did long ago. And how often I long for those two loving arms that once held me so gentle and close. And when I think of you and the love we once knew, how I wish we could go back in time. Do you ever think back on old memories like that, or do I ever cross your mind? When old memories appear, my eyes won't stay clear. When I think of those happier times, do you ever recall these old memories at all, or do I ever cross your mind?
Thank you. I'm glad you like that. And just think, I've been spending all this money on a band and I didn't even need one. I tell you what, let's do. Let's pretend like that we've recorded that song and that we have it out on a 45-speed record. And we'll put it on the record player and we'll flip it up on 78 speed. Now, I know everybody's done that. Are you boys ready? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh, sometimes I go walk into fields where rock long ago and the stage used to be. And the flowers still grow, but they don't smell as sweet just as they did when you picked them for me. And when I think of you, love we once knew, how I wish we could go back in time. Do you ever think back on old memories like that, or do I ever cross your mind? Thank you. Who's lost? Are you lost?
Yeah.
Well, I'm with you, Terry.
I stay lost.
He's just driving.
I have to go to the bathroom, Uncle Terry.
I guess so. Uh-oh.
Is that bologna? Oh, that's good. It's ham.
I'm 32 now. I've been married for 12 years. And in case you show this again 50 years from now, I married in 1966. And my husband don't like to be in the business. He don't like to be in the pictures. He won't do interviews, and I'm glad. He's not involved in the music. He's an outdoorsman. I'm real happy at home, and it's important to me that I know I have a place to go to restore. It's the foundation. It's heart and soul. When I'm home, I just think that's the only place I have to go to restore myself to be better for the public when I go back out the gate.
Oh, that's cute. What's his name? Christopher. Huh? How are you? Are you bashful? Are you bashful? Christopher? Are you married? Huh? You're not married? How about if I lose weight? Can we go steady?
My hair's blonde. I keep it done up because when I'm home, I don't wear the wigs. And some places that I go, I don't wear the wigs. But when I'm on stage, you're going to be in the public where they recognize me as Dolly Parton, the wig. Then I feel like I owe it to the public and to myself to look the way they've come to know me.
Fine, we're having a good time. We often travel and stop along the way and have picnics, so that's what we're doing today. The hot dogs are ready, and the hamburgers are nearly ready.
With the image, with the wigs and the makeup, it's something I started doing years ago when teasing, backcombing, whatever you call it, was a style. Everybody was wearing their hair, really big. And I was doing it seriously, and I was a sophomore in high school at that time. And I liked it because it was creative. It was something I could do well. And then when it went out of style, I still liked it. I kept wearing it. And then it was so out of style, people were telling me for my own good that I should change my hairstyle. Then I hit on the idea that might be a good image, a good gimmick. Everybody in the business wants something to be noticed. You want to be a little different, a little outstanding. Then I started wearing wigs and just really being over-exaggerated. And I don't even have good wigs made. It's not important because it's just the way I look. I mean, I don't wear expensive wigs or whatever. But I can get away with it because I feel very secure within myself, because I could take all this garbage off and I would look fairly well. But I probably look better than I do with all this garbage. But I never was concerned about looking pretty as much as just looking different.
Excellent! Everybody clap your hands and stomp your feet and sing along if you'd like to. Well, I wish that I was on a rocky top down in the Tennessee hills, 'cause there ain't no smog and smoke on Rocky Top, ain't no telephone bills. Oh, but I've had years of cramped up city life, trapped like a duck in a pen. Oh, but all I know is it's a doggone pity life can't be simple again. Everybody now, Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Oh, Harry now. Woo! Now, once I loved a man on Rocky Top, half bear, the other half cat. But he was wild as a buck, but he was sweet as soda pop, and I still dream about that. Oh, once two strangers climbed old Rocky Top. They's looking for a moonshine still. Strangers, they come down from Rocky Top, and they never win. Oh, Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Appreciate your help on that, because it always feels good to sing about home, and we've been gone from home for so long we just thought we'd throw that in there. I want to do
Everybody loves everybody else. That sounds stupid. It sounds like showbiz or something, but it's true.
And her personality is just one of complete openness, honesty, not afraid of anything. She's not afraid of herself. Maybe that comes out in her music. She's beautiful.
Here I sit all alone, thinking about what I should have known. You made me think that I could need you. You weaved your magic spell and I believed you. Looking back on you and me, promises that will never be. I truly thought that we were lovers, but wish I'd seen that love is blind. Sweet little love maker, taking my heart and leave me behind. Heartbreaker, couldn't you be a little more kind to me? Played with fire, felt its burn. I would have thought that I would have learned, but I melted every time you kissed me. And each time you'd leave, I really thought you'd miss me. Heartbreaker, how I wish I'd seen that love is blind. Sweet little love maker, just taking my heart to leave me behind. Heartbreaker, couldn't you be a little more kind to me? Oh, couldn't you be a little more kind to me?
I'm a very secure person. I have good roots, good family, and a good home. And if I failed at this business, I would be a success at something else because I would just work with that kind of drive. But I don't expect to be a failure at this because I think this is what I do best.
You look at me that way, I know what your eyes say. Your eyes reflect love and desire. I see that you need me, I need you to please me. You touch me and set me on fire. The way that you love me, the way that you touch me, the way that you whisper my name, I cannot resist you. And each time I kiss you, then everything goes up in flames. Oh, baby, I'm burning out of control. Baby, I'm burning body and soul. Hot as a fish, oh, flaming desire. Baby, I'm burning, you got me on fire. I'm on fire. This red hot emotion puts fireworks in motion. Why, it looks like the 4th of July. There's no use in hiding this fire you've ignited. Let's stand back and watch the sparks fly. Oh, baby, I'm burning out of control. Baby, I'm burning body and soul. Hot as a fish, oh, a flaming desire. Baby, I'm burning, you got me on fire. Baby, I'm burning. Baby, I'm burning. Baby, I'm burning. Baby, I'm burning. Oh, baby, I'm burning out of control. Baby, I'm burning body and soul. Hot as a fish, though, a flaming fire. Baby, I'm burning. You got me on fire. Baby, I'm burning. You got me on fire. I'm on fire.
The time the show's over, I'm just getting started, and you have to, it takes me sometimes 3 or 4 hours to come down from just being overexcited. And so sometimes I write my best songs after a performance because of the audience and their reaction. I think I'll be remembered as a performer, but if I had a choice of what I wanted to be remembered as, I would choose to be known as a writer.
Thank you so very much. I want to, again, say thanks to all of you for being such a wonderful audience.
And I just want you to know that I love you too. Thank you. When I was a little girl growing up in the Smoky Mountains, I used to dream of things like this and people like you and lights and stages and jewelry and rhinestones and all that stuff. But you know, it's a long ways from the Smoky Mountains to the top of the world, and I know that I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I know I'm smart enough to know that I could never do it without people like you. And I just want you to know that I do thank you for making my dreams come true. And I don't care what anybody ever says. You know that I will always love you, and country music will always be my first love, and you'll always be first in my heart. And since you've made all my dreams come true, I just wanted to say that I hope life will treat you kind. And I hope that you have all that you ever dreamed of. I wish you joy, and I wish you happiness. But above all of this, I just wish you love. Thank you. Goodbye. I don't think my life's going to be empty or dull. I got lots to do. And I'll always want to do something where I can be involved with the people.